Have you ever felt the experience of emerging from a dark, damp, musty cave as soon as the first flower of spring blooms? You have to promise yourself, for yourself, that you're going to follow through with at least one idea in this video that resonates with you. You've actually already unlocked the first cheat code
to deleting seasonal depression
from your life. You took the first step by clicking on this video. And I know it feels small, but even at that teeny tiny step, which actually is already in the past, can be the end of any cycle of inaction that keeps you stuck in places nobody would want to be. That's why you clicked. You don't want to go through it, whether you've been there before or not. You remember a moment when just starting something was the most challenging step to overcome? You've already done it. You've started.
Congratulations!
You've already won the hardest battle. The easiest battle is going to be to click on that subscribe button and like the video, but I'm going to go ahead and get on to the next point. Anyways, let's get going. Seasonal depression feels tough and overwhelming, but it can also be pretty predictable. Small victories are going to get you very far, and they're going to build on each other so you can thrive. First cheat code is to discover something about this era you enjoy. Grinches will never be happy. Start making time in your thoughts to be grateful. The thing you enjoy has to only exist in the winter, like hot cocoa. I don't like hot cocoa. Or snow. I don't live in the snow. I don't have to appreciate it. You do. Every time you see it. I personally was the biggest winter hater until last year when I started to look around and notice there are beautiful cloud formations in my area we don't get in the summer. They're only in the winter. This small behavior set the tone for other positive changes in my life that altogether made my winter pretty enjoyable, despite also being one of the most emotionally challenging winters of my life. You can't be a hater of the season if you want to make it out the other side. Can you find at least one thing that you like about this time? Maybe that you like enough to love? Once you've identified that, don't ever let it be ruined for you.
It's yours.
The next winter cheat code is to set your intentions
before they get set for you.
Deciding your intentions before you start something works wonders for the enjoyment you get out of it. Deciding what you want from winter takes away the mental burden of
purpose anxiety.
You don't want to be curled up in a ball every night wondering if you're doing enough by someone else's standards who maybe doesn't even exist. Decide your own standards. You want to be aware of the goals that are aligned with you as a person so you can work towards them. The key is that this looks different for everyone. Beginning to think about what you want
without relying on the opinions of others
is a challenging step to take, but I encourage you just to
start.
Write down a goal or two, however small or vague. One of my goals this year is to paint more because I want to be a painter. And I feel accomplished in knowing that I have been painting more, even if it's not as frequently as I would love to, but I know that I'm doing something right, I think.
No, I know.
See? It frees me from the fear that I'm doing everything wrong, which is the easiest
way to spiral down
instead of spiraling up.
And we want to be spiraling up, because that's where the good stuff is. The most fundamental cheat code is to prioritize restful, high-quality sleep. Depression can cause and can also be caused by a lack of energy. And as much as I hate to admit it,
sleep is the most important factor in our energy levels.
So it's going to be a very important part of the equation in deleting seasonal depression. In people with seasonal depression, like me in the past, sleep becomes about how much you can get. I would sleep for over 14 hours in some of my most challenging moments. And in this state, you live to sleep instead of sleeping to live.
Absolutely not.
The secret is the amount of sleep matters much less than you think. Focusing on the quality of the sleep as well as the amount, minimizing interruptions, and creating a more restful environment will benefit you so much more. Some of the most basic things include creating a deeply dark environment, like with a sleep mask, which kind of terrifies my inner child personally, but I also have kittens who keep me safe. Not doing any other activities in your bed will help you. And
stay off your electronics for at least 30 minutes.
Preferably an hour before bed. Everybody says that last one, and it sounds much harder than it is. But when you start your nighttime routine, put your phone in a designated place where you won't touch it until you wake up. I personally throw my phone at the couch next to my bed. Otherwise, it somehow stays glued to my hand. Sleep is hard overall, but if there's anything that works for you, Please let me know in the comments because this is something that I am still working to get right personally. And now is the time for us to double down.
Because Mama needs to rest.
The next cheat code is to prepare things in advance. I know this sounds
Crazy, but hear me out.
This might not be something you can do if you're already struggling, but if you get a pep in your step one day, it can be so smart to plan ahead. Get 2 dopamine boosts from this. One when you do the preparation and one when you benefit from the preparation. I strongly recommend doing this with meals. Cooking every single day is really draining and eating out every day is so expensive. Meals as an adult are logistically the worst. So take one day and prepare lunch or dinner for the entire week. It's
Action kinda easy.
because it takes the same amount of time to cook 5 servings at once instead of 1. Have all of them ready so you can just grab it from your fridge, and the feeling is unmatched of pulling out a pre-made little treat. It makes doing dishes so much easier, and with all of the extra time, you can use it to do all of the rest of my cheat codes. As a bonus to the last cheat code,
brainstorm the most annoying things about
your life during the winter and the easiest triggers of depressive behavior for you. Take out your voice recorder app and rant to yourself about what is annoying you the most in your day today. The sun setting at 5 p.m. makes these things feel
Even more frustrating.
but the key isn't to get rid of them. It's to find ways around at least some of them. There's probably some easy solutions for 1 or 2. For me, waking up has always been the most challenging and annoying part of my day. I hate it. Of course, it's even worse in the winter when it's so chilly outside and I don't want to leave my beautiful
snuggly warm bed and adoring kittens.
To make it easier for myself because I'm a smart cookie, I keep a huge warm fuzzy jacket next to my bed that I can wear as I'm getting out of bed, which functionally becomes a walking snuggly bed. It works really well because I'm lowering the activation energy of me stepping out of bed, and I'm not afraid of stepping on the tundra of the floor. Quality of life increases significantly because the most challenging thing I face during my day
Is all of a sudden way more manageable.
It's great. Lights is probably the easiest of the cheat codes I have for y'all. Light plays a huge role in regulating your sleep and wake cycles, and
You can take advantage of this.
blue light is best for the morning time, which is why office or hospital lighting can feel so glaring and intense at night. And warm light, like the candle a pretty princess like me uses to meander through a castle at night,
Is great for sleep.
major difference between the two. I turn off any blue lights, like the overhead lights that came with my apartment, before bed and carry a portable warm light lamp with me while I'm getting ready to go to sleep. When I wake up, I turn on the bright blue bathroom lights and those.
Jolt me awake.
If your area gets little sunlight, you can use a daylight simulator light or a dawn alarm clock in the morning to wake up. I've had doctors recommend this to me when I talk to them about my sleep for whatever that's worth. This isn't medical advice. Look around at the lights in your space right now.
Are they warm? Are they cool?
If they're cool, do you think that that's helping you feel more awake? Or if they're warm, do you think that
They're calming down.
does that fit the current vibe that you're going for? A really rewarding cheat code, which should set the
ding bells off in all of our dopamine addicted minds.
is to take the responsibility of caring for something outside of you during the winter. Responsibility is the antidote of depression. But you need to set this intention realistically because I don't want you to get a dog you don't have the ability to take care of yet. Super high stakes because I told you to. Be realistic. Get a plant. It's easy to take care of and check in on it regularly. See how it does. I really recommend self-watering pots or little watering globes so the effort to take care can be manageable. I don't know if you can see my plants, they're all self-watering. I just put water in them every so often. Having this little teeny tiny moment to help another organism grow is a beautiful moment on any day to add purpose to your life and actually function as an extension of you caring for yourself, which is essential. My little baby kittens and my cat are my proudest responsibility. And this winter has been about introducing them so my cat feels safe.
It's been incredible.
And actually kind of really hard. If anybody has any tips for that, I would really appreciate it because it's going slow. If you hear her hissing in the back, we're letting them integrate. A really wonderful way to avoid the isolation that can bring on or worsen depression is to have a
Regular time to meet.
with a friend or a loved one. For me, this is yoga with my best friend every Monday. And having this as a part of my weekly routine means I will never go too long without connecting with the people that I care most about. We can't end up meeting every week, but even when we go a few weeks without doing yoga, the tradition still stands. I promise this is one of the most effective preventions for depression, which can stem from isolation. It's an accountability system for maintaining social relationships, which are some of the biggest indicators for positive outcomes in mental. The most challenging cheat code for me to unlock has been journaling daily. Something about this feels so good. And I've never heard a negative review about journaling. I got this tip from my friend that even if you have nothing to journal about, just get out a paper and write something as simple as, today is Friday, or I'm excited for the weekend, which may lead to you realizing something important as you keep writing, or even just connecting with yourself more deeply. Even if you truly have nothing
Meaningful.
on a specific day, just building the muscle of writing is extraordinarily beneficial. On the days when you really need this habit for emotional regulation and processing, you'll be so glad you have the thought to write about it. You'll be so glad. Writing is the best way to avoid being stuck in negative emotions, which is exactly what depression is. Am I still on camera? It's filming? Good. The next cheat code has layers I can't get into in this video, or it would be an hour long. But please,
stop being mean to yourself.
Give yourself some grace.
you didn't do anything to deserve being depressed. Your behaviors can only change so fast, and just being here in this life is good enough on any day. When something doesn't go as planned, it's so easy to be a see you next Tuesday to yourself. I know, I've been there. Get in the habit of catching those thoughts and replace them with something neutral or positive if you can. Self-compassion isn't just nice, it's
necessary to grow.
imagine if I got mad at that plant every time I didn't water it. It just doesn't make sense, right? The final cheat code, we made it there, is to rest with intention. Not to scare you, because this realization scared me, but every moment of our life has a purpose. And if you don't set the purpose yourself, like we talked about earlier, society will set it for you, which is depressing. One, as an idea, but it will also lead to unhealthy behaviors like doom scrolling or just being crazy, right? Resting with intention isn't just about lying down and zoning out. It's about consciously choosing to give your mind and body the space to recover from everything else in your life. So the next time you take a break, really be present. Do a little body scan. Even if it's just for 5 minutes or if it's for an hour, let that time be for you. None of these cheat codes is gonna
instantly cure
seasonal depression. And I say that to encourage you, practice them consistently regardless of if you see immediate results, and to
Appreciate them for
what they are. Tiny changes we can make to improve our lives and our mental health. There's a reason I believe in these things. They work for me, they work for so many people. They can work for you too. Not being depressed is an achievable state for anyone who has the desire to make enough of these small changes for themselves, which can take time, but the time it takes is gonna pass by anyway. So don't let yourself stay the same in the meantime. You have the power to build a life
Full of intentional choices.
that will overpower negative habits. Take just one of my tips. Hope to hear which of these cheat codes you like the best. Or if they're all bad, you can tell me that too, and I'll try not to be mad. I'm done.